I just hope I'm drinking Bill Gates' water.
But the reason I wanted to raise this issue of Harvey Weinstein is that Wesley Morris, who's a columnist at the New York Times, I don't know if you saw this, wrote a beautiful ode to you in the Times recently, and wrote the following, and I want to just read it aloud, and I want to get your thoughts on this. He said, "I've spent 2 years wondering whether Paltrow's taste for acting had diminished because of that man, whether having his company seemed synonymous with some of her strongest, most popular work compelled her to start a company of her own, one where the work concerned not acting, but being whole, being better, being ridiculously better." Did you read this?
You know, I try never to read anything about myself, but so many people forwarded me that lovely, amazing piece that I did read it.
So what do you think of that? I mean, I know that's why I said it could be personal and deep, but what?
I think he said it better than I could say it myself, and there's definitely, it's something that I've been processing over the last year or so, that I don't even think that I was aware that it possibly could have tarnished the way that I viewed my first career until I got involved with Jodie and Megan in the book, and you know, honestly have been still in the process of trying to metabolize what that was and what it means, and I'm not really sure, but I think he's right.
I have sort of a strange Me Too question, which is, I imagine you must have a very complicated view of Harvey Weinstein, given that you knew him for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him today? You know, no, seriously.
Gosh, I have not been asked this before. You know, I don't like to be binary about people or about things. I think we're all equal parts or varying percentages, light and dark. And I think that, you know, he was a very, very important figure in my life. He was my main boss. He gave me incredible opportunity, and yet, during that time, we had a very, very fraught, complicated relationship, highs and lows. And the postscript to that chapter of my life is where it gets extremely complicated for me, because information came to light about who he was and how he was behaving that I didn't know during my already very difficult time with him. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel. It's, I know, you know, for me anyway, I like to resist the urge to, I don't know, be too binary about anything or anyone. And I try to always mine an uncomfortable situation for the life lesson in it.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up to that then, which is, there have been, and because you were a real leader in this, there have been so many other men who've been exposed during this period for wrongdoing. And one of the questions I think that clearly victims of what took place not only need to be acknowledged, and the years of pain that will continue, but what do you think should happen to these men? I wonder. No, I genuinely. Can they repent? Is there something they can do?
I think that I don't think you can generalize. I think that there's a spectrum. But it does seem to me, for the more egregious offenders, that really loss of power is what keeps them from further offending.
Right.
So if they don't have the power, then they lose that dynamic, and then game's over.
Sort of hard to pivot back to the business.
Let's talk about vaginas.